Welcome to Out of Spec Reviews, where you join me at a gas pump where we always start our MPG tests. You guys know what this means. We are going to be range or MPG testing the F-150 PowerBoost Hybrid Limited. This is F-150's most top of the line truck you can get. It is a hybrid system, absolutely gorgeous interior, and I'm just filling it up with fuel right now, filling it with premium fuel. Let me run through our test procedures and let's see what kind of fuel efficiency Ford's hybrid will get cruising at 70 miles per hour on the highway. Should be pretty interesting. If you guys watch any of our other 70 mile per hour highway efficiency tests, you know how we run it. We let this click, we then give it 30 seconds to settle, and then we click it one more time until it shuts off. That's how we know we have a full fuel tank. We do not trust the internal MPG calculations. What we'll do is we'll then jump right on the highway just over here, run up the highway, up about 30-40 miles, then we come back down the highway, and that gives us a loop style test. The reason we do a loop style test for our runs is so that it negates any elevation changes, altitude, and wind. We have about a 5 mile per hour headwind on the way up, but we will get a 5 mile per hour tailwind on the way down. We also start our electric car range tests here and efficiency tests right over there at those chargers, which is really neat. So I'd say this has been about 30 seconds. Let's click this up all the way. Tire pressures, I just set to manufacturer tire pressures. Now we know we are totally full. So let's put this in. Truck took about 6 gallons, doesn't matter. We're gonna see how much it takes at the end of our just under 60 mile loop. Let's jump in this beautiful F-150 and get it all set up for the drive. Look how gorgeous this interior is. If you want to know more about this F-150 and how nice it is, definitely take a look at the videos we're going to keep making with this truck. It has massaging seats. We're going to be comparing it to some other luxury cars because I actually think it might be more luxurious than like a Mercedes E-Class. We'll see. Anyway, let's jump in and go. You join me in the F-150 where we are sitting on accessory power. We're gonna get it set up for this MPG test. I love doing this with every car we test. First off, it's 42 degrees outside. I drove the truck up the highway here, so the engine is at operating temperature. The cabin's also been warmed up, and we're gonna run 70 degrees on the lowest fan speed of automatic. I'm also going to put the car in eco mode, which will prioritize rear wheel drive. Of course, this is a all-wheel or 4-wheel drive system. And we have 442 miles projected fuel range. Keep in mind, I've been driving this truck around the city for a while. So right now we're off, we're in park, and I think we are all set up to go. Let's do it. Engine start button on. We run every car in eco mode with a relatively good temperature for air conditioning. This will go under our cold weather MPG tests, of course, and that's mainly because it's under 50 degrees outside. We'll rate cars over 50 degrees as well. Right now, we're just driving on electric mode. You can see the engine hasn't even kicked on yet. Now, one thing I'm looking forward to doing here in the efficiency test, the 70 mile per hour efficiency MPG test of this truck, is the driver assistance systems and really testing this out. You see, this truck has Copilot 360, which is Ford's autonomous, or I should say assisted driving system. It is not autonomous, it's not a driver replacement. Combustion engine has just kicked on here, and the way this system works is it has adaptive cruise control to keep you at a distance to the vehicle in front of you. In the case right now, it's a last generation F-150. And it also has eye tracking. So currently this is an early version of this truck, but this truck will receive a software update over the air that you will be able to upgrade this driver assistance system so that it will steer itself in the lane, which it will do now, but it won't require you to touch the steering wheel. So as long as you're on a pre-mapped approved highway, this truck will actually just drive itself on the highway. So that's pretty neat for sure. And you know, all you'll need to do is pay attention as the driver. So as we're merging onto I-25 here, we're going to be mindful of not using a ton of acceleration. We don't want the turbos to really just spool up and dump a ton of fuel to compensate for that air. So it's going to be gentle accelerations up on the highway, as we always do. As soon as we get locked in at 70 miles per hour, I will then compare our speed with our GPS test unit, because some you know, speedometers read over 70 miles per hour and some read under. And so we want to make sure it's a GPS true 70 mile per hour efficiency test. So here we go, merging up on the highway, just gently merging. We're going to have to give it a little bit more acceleration here because of these trucks coming up. But I will say, ton of low end grunt with this engine, which is really great. And here we go, up to almost 70 miles per hour. Select the driver assistance system. We'll put the distance on closest, and then we're going to lock us in at 70 right there. So there we go. I'm going to confirm with our GPS unit, make sure we're set, and we're going to end exactly where we started. Super important to do a loop style test on the same roads. That way that everything that you experience going one way is counteracted going the other. Pretty excited here. The driver assistance systems are working great. I'll give you an update about halfway as to how we're doing. We are continuing to cruise. You know, really it's awesome, except for these two cars. No one's really been in front of us. Awesome conditions for a efficiency test. Have to say the driver assistance system is doing an amazing job of just keeping us in our lane. I cannot wait for them to activate the eye tracking function, because it's very sensitive when you take your hands off the wheel. The nice thing is it doesn't require, you know, it doesn't want you to squeeze. It just wants a little bit of torque in the steering rack for it to know that you're there. But other than that, I would say it's pretty good. Just asks you a lot to touch the steering wheel. Other than that, seriously, the massaging seats I'm not using right now. I wish I was, but they're so good. Everything about this truck is just so suited for a road trip. I'm not sure if they make a more comfortable truck. By the way, Lincoln Mark LT going by. What a rare bird that is. Kind of a failed program, also kind of neat. I always thought those were kind of interesting. I guess this is what the Lincoln Mark LT was trying to be of the time. How about that? You know, this is the limited, got all the stuff. That's what that was supposed to be of the F-150, the premium model. Now that's still under the Ford brand, and I think it's smart. Lots of hidden features as well. One thing I really like is this hidden glove compartment up here in the front. I didn't even know that was there for the first couple days. So neat, so cool, and just absolutely enjoying my time with this truck. I could totally see myself getting one of these things and cruising around as a work truck, but also having something to go out to dinner in, go on long trips with this level of comfort. It's really a nice blend. Have to say, guys, cruising along real nice. Great day up here. Nice cloudy skies, but no rain or anything like that. We are going past the giant buffalo up here on the right. Can't see any buffaloes around today. Sometimes you'll see them roaming these fields. Cruising along in drive, the thing's running at 1700 RPMs flat the whole time. Gotta say, some cars as well have a pretty hard time of keeping the match speed on some of the rolling hills that we hit on a certain sections of this drive, and not this F-150 at all. It is not diverged from 70 since we got on the highway. Really neat. Absolutely loving the truck. Sound system's incredible. I don't know what else you'd want in a truck, honestly. I mean, people say they want a work truck spec. I get that for sure, but I think this is the one to go for. It's so comfortable. And my friend was telling me, he said these limited trucks hold their value really well as well. So that is something to consider if you're looking at the PowerBoost Hybrid, maybe to get the higher trim level. You can see here in Wyoming, the winds are crazy. Look at this truck turned over. Absolutely insane. Super scary winds, actually. Alyssa, my girlfriend, does this commute every day from Fort Collins to Cheyenne up here. And she said earlier this week we had nasty winds. She saw 4 trucks flipped over, and they'll actually shut down the highway because of the winds. Those are the days we don't do our efficiency tests, of course. We like to have the least amount of wind possible. Today, I think like the most I saw on the map was about 5 miles per hour. But we're just about 1 mile away from our halfway turnaround point. Have to say, really awesome conditions, down to 37 degrees here in Wyoming. It does get warmer the more north we go, of course. Or I should say colder the more north we go. And just about to flip around. Gotta say, truck feels super efficient. We have not come off 70 miles an hour up until this moment where I just kicked it down. I wonder if it will charge up the high voltage battery. You know, even though this is a hybrid, at these kinds of speed, there's no way the truck will actually switch to electric mode. So it really only tends to run electric under super light acceleration at very low speeds, let's say under 40 miles per hour. You know, roughly. Maybe you could be doing 45 and it'll switch to electric mode. But here we go, running down. You can see the engine is just shut off. we're regenerating power back into the battery with the braking system. So it's using the electric motor as a generator and regenerating that power. I think the electric motor is only 200 watt hours, something like that. It's a really small battery, I should say, not the motor. But we're just gonna let this guy go. The thing I love about this loop style test that we run here at exit 7 off I-80, or is it 25 still? Not sure. Anyway, the reason I like this particular exit is it's free flowing. We never get stuck at a light. It's just left, left, left. Never have to cross over traffic. Really nice for just keeping the car moving and keeping the results as consistent as possible. So again, gentle merge back onto the highway. Absolutely loving it. I keep saying that. I'm really very, like, you know, it's true. Very rarely am I truly impressed by a vehicle. And this is a pickup truck. You know, I really am probably in the market for a pickup truck at some point soon, or at least a utility vehicle. But this just ticks every box. I'm super impressed with it. Here we go, merging up gentle, and then we're gonna lock ourselves back onto Copilot 360 at 70 miles per hour. We'll go back to the gas station and see what kind of fuel economy we have. Off we go. All right, we are exiting at our end destination, coming off. Engine is back to off. I think it's so neat to have electrification in a pickup truck. I was just talking to one of my friends on the phone, Ben. You guys know Ben. He's done reviews for this channel. And he and I both agree that we're typically not fans of hybrids. We are typically not fans of plug-in hybrids. However, we both agree that the best case for a plug-in hybrid is a pickup truck, because you get the benefit of electric torque, you get the benefit of all that power when towing, but you also gain the benefit of a large fuel tank when towing over long distances. Right now, battery packs, I'm not convinced, have the density for pickup truck heavy work. Anyway, what we're gonna do is we're sitting here with the engine off. How neat is that? We're gonna go back to our fuel pump. We're gonna see just how much fuel it takes to top this back all the way up. We'll let it rest for 30 seconds, click the nozzle again, and then we'll run the calculations and see just how much fuel the F-150 PowerBoost Hybrid used over our 70 mile per hour efficiency test, which is about 58 miles, something like this. Let's take a look over here. We have to click this button to depressurize the fuel tank and pop open the fuel tank side right there. So please wait for fuel door to open. There we go. Only on the hybrids, because I guess they think that it needs to be pressurized. So let's fill this back up with some 91 octane. I don't actually know if it's required. It says 90 RON. All right, here we go. Second time. I love the capless fuel systems. That's really great. We'll let that puppy go. Let's take a look. The best car we've run so far has been a Nissan Sentra at like 40 something MPG. This is so efficient. If I remember correctly, we just ran another SUV, the Nissan Armada, and it did something like 4 gallons. We're gonna let this sit for another 20 seconds or so. Then we'll top it up and get our final number. How neat is this? This is gonna be pretty efficient, I think. While we're letting the truck stabilize with its fuel, let me just take you around and show you how nice this thing looks. Absolutely gorgeous vehicle. Really nice accoutrement, really nice headlights, super bright at night, by the way. Love this thing. Tons of room in the back seat as well, which is really, really nice. So just take a look at that. Really cool. And these seats do fold up, and there's storage under there, which is so neat. The bed is cool. It's got a 7 kilowatt onboard inverter with some power plugs over here. We're actually going to be charging a Tesla off this truck here in a couple days. I'm excited to see. 30 seconds has passed, more than that actually. I'm going to top it up all the way, and that's how we do it. Now let's go run some numbers in the cab. All right, guys, just ran the numbers. We used 2.378 gallons of fuel over 56.8 miles. Just under 60 miles is our loop. That puts us at, near as makes no difference, 24 mpg. In a truck, that's pretty good. So we have a couple things that are helping us here. The first is the transmission, the 10-speed. Lets it sit at 1700 revs, nice and low. Secondly, Eco Boost. It means we're out of turbo boost. It's just sipping fuel. The hybrid system didn't really help us much on the highway. However, over the entire drive, we drove just about 1 mile completely electric out of that 58, that was mostly getting up to the highway, making our loop back on, and all the low speed stuff. So that's pretty neat. Noticeable driving distance, just about 1 electric mile right there. And that's the end of this video. There we go, 24 MPH. There's like 23.9888, something like this. Anyway, thanks so much for watching Out of Spec Reviews. Plenty of stuff to do with this truck. Always love doing these interesting tests, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.